Our Prophet ﷺ predicted that there will be many Dajjals. In an authentic hadith reported in Musnad Imam Ahmad and other books, our Prophet ﷺ said, and there's a version of it in Sahih Muslim, our Prophet ﷺ said, there shall be after me 30 Dajjalun Kadhabun. 30 Dajjals. All of them Kadhab. Kulluhum yaz'umu annahu nabi. Everyone is claiming that he is a Nabi. وَأَنَّهُ لَا نَبِيَّ بَعْدِي. And there is no Nabi after me. What do we learn from this hadith? It's not just one Dajjal. There are many, we can call them in English, Dajjal with a small d. Or we can say mini Dajjals, no problem. But there is one Dajjal with a big D, okay? So there are many mini Dajjals. What is the sign of these false Dajjal? Everyone says the same claim. I am Nabi, I am Nabi, I am Nabi. And the Prophet said, وَأَنَّهُ لَا نَبِيَّ بَعْدِي. Anybody who claims he is a Nabi, you can call him a title. And that title is, you are a Dajjal. A Dajjal. As for the Dajjal, that will be the last of them. The 30th of them. That is the big Dajjal. That is the worst of them. And before that time, there will be plenty of mini Dajjals. We are now interested in the big Dajjal, the final Dajjal. And there are, before we get to the ahadith about Dajjal, there are two interesting aspects that are found in hadith literature that confuse the average reader, and in fact they even confuse some of the Sahaba. The first of them was that there was an individual who lived at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, whom even the Prophet ﷺ for a period of time didn't know, is he that Dajjal or is he a minor Dajjal? Okay, he didn't know. And this incident is mentioned in Sahih Muslim and many books of hadith. It is an authentic incident. Multiple narrations exist about a certain young man who lived in Medina, who was from one of the Yahudi tribes. And he was a magician. And he would pretend he knew the future. He would foretell the future. And in our religion, anybody who pretends to know the future is a liar. And in our religion, anybody who invokes the jinn and calls out to the jinn, this is a magician. We don't call out to the jinn. We don't do anything for the jinn. For now, realize that it is possible for evil people to invoke the jinn. It is possible. And when they do so, this is what we call magic. And that's why magic is haram. It is always haram to invoke the jinn, because they are wanting nothing but evil. Whoever does so must sacrifice tawheed and get involved in shirk. Because the payments that jinns accept, evil jinns, because you have good jinns as well, what does the jinn want? The same thing he wanted, Iblis wanted, that ana khayrum min. I am better than this creation. Let this creation bow down to me. Let this creation worship me. And if the jinn gets this, in return, the jinn will do some favors for you, right? So there was this magician at the time of the Prophet ﷺ by the name of Safi Ibn Sayyad. That was his name. And he was from one of the Yahudi tribes who remained living in Medina for a number of years. Not all of the Jewish tribes were expelled. Some small families remained. And he was from of those tribes that lived on the outskirts of Medina. And when our Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, Safi Ibn Sayyad was a young child. And he was about to reach puberty. And that's when our Prophet ﷺ begins interacting with him. And there are a number of interesting narrations about Safi ibn Sayyad. Of them is that the Prophet ﷺ heard that there is this young child who has these visions of the jinn. He predicts the future. And so Umar and the Prophet ﷺ, this hadith is in Sahih Muslim, they walked towards a group of children who were playing, and amongst them was Safi ibn Sayyad. And Ibn Sayyad was not aware that the Prophet ﷺ was coming until he was right behind him. And Ibn Sayyad turned around and the Prophet ﷺ was there. So the Prophet ﷺ said to Ibn Sayyad, do you testify that I am Rasulullah? And Ibn Sayyad said, I testify that you are the Rasul of the Ummiyin, in a derogatory manner. You are the Rasul of the unlettered people. So Ibn Sayyad then said to the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, do you testify that I am Rasulullah? What did we say? One of the signs of a Dajjal is what? Dajjal claims he is Rasul. Right? So he is now saying, and look at the arrogance. And this also shows you that this is what happens when you start getting involved in magic. You really become a very evil person. How dare in front of the face of the Prophet, and you are twisting the question and you're saying, okay, you ask me, now let me ask you, do you testify that I am Rasulullah? And the Prophet ﷺ said, Amantu billahi wa rasulihi. I believe in Allah and His Messenger. That was his response. And he said to Ibn Sayyad, what do you see? Ibn Sayyad said, I see two people come to me. One of them tells the truth, one of them tells lies. The Prophet ﷺ said, rather, the matter has been made confusing for you, meaning both of them are telling lies. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, I have a test for you. I have hidden something for you. And what was that thing that he was hiding? He was hiding a verse from the Quran, which is فَارْتَقِبْ يَوْمَ تَأْتِ السَّمَاءُ بِدُخَانٍ مُبِينٍ. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ had recited this verse to the Sahaba. I'm testing Ibn Sayyad. He says he knows everything. Okay, I just recited this verse. Let's see, does he know, did I recite this verse or not? You see the test, right? So the Prophet ﷺ is testing. This is a man, he knows everything. Okay, I just recited a verse 20 feet away from him. Let's see whether he can tell his followers what I just recited to all of you. Simple test, right? فَارْتَقِبْ يَوْمَ تَأْتِ السَّمَاءُ بِدُخَانٍ مُبِينٍ. He had recited to Umar ibn al-Khattab. Now he goes to Ibn Sayyad and he says to Ibn Sayyad, I have a test for you. Do you know what I have hidden for you? And this shows you Ibn Sayyad did have contact with the jinn, but the jinn are not all knowledgeable. All he could say was dukh, dukh, dukh. And the verse was فَارْتَقِبْ يَوْمَ تَأْتِ السَّمَاءُ بِدُخَانٍ مُبِينٍ. And the jinn narrated 2 letters, dukh, 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 and not the whole verse. You see that, right? So there was some jinn that was communicating with Ibn Sayyad, and he wasn't able to do it. So the Prophet said, "Ikhsa ya aduwallah." And ikhsa literally translates as shut up. It is a harsh word. And the Prophet was never harsh except to those who deserved it. اخسأ يا عدو الله فلن تعدو قدرك. You shall never go beyond your meagerness. Umar ibn al-Khattab said, Ya Rasulullah, allow me to execute him. This is a Dajjal. He says he is Rasulullah. He is communication with the jinn. And our Prophet ﷺ said, if he is that Dajjal, you shall not be able to kill him. And if he is other than that Dajjal, your killing won't benefit anyone. He's nothing. Leave him be. Now, this hadith is in Sahih Muslim, it's authentic. So the Prophet is telling Umar, if he is that Dajjal, you won't be able to kill him. And if he is other than that Dajjal, yeah, what's the big deal? He's going to come and go, no one will care. Your killing will not harm any or benefit anyone. He's going to be a minor, which was the case. He became a footnote in history. Majority of Muslims don't even know about his name, even though during the time of the Sahaba, he was somewhat of a big deal. And that Ibn Sayyad, he continued to live in Medina after the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and he resided in Medina, and a number of Sahaba swore by Allah that that is the Dajjal. And of them was Umar ibn al-Khattab. He would make halaf with Allah that that is the Dajjal. Also Jabir ibn Abdullah, the famous Sahabi, he felt that that is the actual Dajjal. And a number of other famous Sahaba. Nafi' said that I heard my master Ibn Umar, they both thought Ibn Sayyad is that Dajjal. So Nafi' said, I heard my master Ibn Umar say, Wallahi, I have no doubt that Masih al-Dajjal is Ibn Sayyad. So Umar and his son Ibn Umar, they felt that Ibn Sayyad is none other than that ad-Dajjal. And there's a famous narration as well that is mentioned in Sahih Muslim that once Ibn Umar met Ibn Sayyad in the streets of Medina. He had a fight with him, verbal fight. And Ibn Sayyad walked away stomping, very angry. So Ibn Umar then visited the house of his sister Hafsa. Hafsa heard the news that Ibn Umar and Ibn Sayyad had a confrontation in the bazaar, in the public sphere of Medina. Hafsa said to her brother that, what is the matter with you? Why are you getting involved in this issue? Don't you know that the Prophet ﷺ said, so this is a hadith now, that the Dajjal shall come and appear after something has caused him to become angry. Why are you getting him angry? What is your business with the man? Let him be. We don't want the Dajjal to come when he's alive. Which means even Hafsa might have been sympathetic that Ibn Sayyad is who? Is that Dajjal. And the most famous narration we have in this regard, which is one that is somewhat funny and somewhat sad at the same time, and this is also in Sahih Muslim, is narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He says that one time I was doing Hajj or Umrah, the narrator forgot what he said, with Ibn Sayyad. And the time came for the caravan to stop. And when the caravans basically stopped, everybody ran away from Ibn Sayyad, and I was the one left next to him. And I became very terrified of him because of the rumors going around about him. And looking around, he saw I was the only camel there, so he brought his belongings and he sat down next to me. I said to him, "It is so hot over here, maybe it's better for you if you rest in that shade over there." So he got the hint, he stood up and he went over there. And eventually some meat came to me. So Ibn Sayyad stood up to share with that meat. So now food has come. Nobody wanted to deliver the meal to him, so they delivered it to Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, and Ibn Sayyad wants to now share that meal. So he came and he sat down with me, and he had a glass of milk with him. So he gave me some milk and he said, "Go ahead, take some." So I said, "This milk is warm and I don't like warm milk. And the only reason I didn't want to drink it," this is him saying, "is because I did not want to touch anything he touched." So Ibn Sayyad said, "Ya Aba Sa'id, how I wish that I could take a rope and tie it on that tree and commit suicide because of what the people say about me." In other words, he knows exactly why Abu Sa'id is not sitting next to him, is not sharing the milk with him, and it's hurting Ibn Sayyad. "Ya Aba Sa'id, don't you know from being from the Ansar what the Prophet ﷺ said? Ya Aba Sa'id, aren't you one of the most knowledgeable people about the ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ? Ya Aba Sa'id," look, he is now quizzing him. "Don't you know that the Dajjal is a kafir and I am a Muslim? Ya Aba Sa'id, don't you know that the Dajjal shall have no children and I have left my children in Medina?" By the way, these are all signs. And Ibn Sayyad said, "I left my family in Medina. How can I be Dajjal?" "Ya Aba Sa'id, don't you know that Dajjal shall not enter Mecca and Medina, and here I am having left Medina on our way to Mecca." Now he's giving some solid points here, right? And Abu Sa'id al-Khudri said, he continued making these arguments until I was about to have a soft spot for him. Then he said, "Ama wallahi inni la a'rifuhu wa a'rifu mawlidahu wa ayna huwa al-an." But by Allah, this is Ibn Sayyad saying to Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, "I know who the Dajjal is, and I know where he shall be born, and I know who his parents are," in one version, "and I know where he is now." That throws a spanner in all of this. How do you know all of this, O Ibn Sayyad? So Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, after having his heart softened, feeling guilty, maybe I'm doing the guy wrong, now, and he says, "May you be cursed, Ya Ibn Sayyad, for what you have done," and he walks away. So Ibn Sayyad is no joke. There was some murkiness about him, about who he was. However, eventually Ibn Sayyad simply disappears. We don't know when he died. The hadith goes that on the day of Harra, he was just disappeared. Nobody knows basically how he died. But clearly Ibn Sayyad was not that Dajjal, because he himself gave all of these signs that Abu Sa'id al-Khudri had to acknowledge. Whether he died a Muslim or not is another issue, because Ibn Sayyad is saying, "I am a Muslim and the Dajjal is a kafir." And this has caused a huge controversy amongst the scholars. And Imam al-Dhahabi, in his monumental encyclopedia of the Sahaba, he basically says that he cannot be a Sahabi because, and this is a very interesting point, what is the definition of a Sahabi? A Sahabi is someone whom the Prophet ﷺ interacted with while that person was a Muslim. If the interaction occurred and the person was not a Muslim and later embraced Islam, that person does not become a Sahabi. And of the examples, or the possible examples, is Ibn Sayyad. Ibn Sayyad did not accept Islam in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ. If he accepted Islam, and that is an if, we don't know. If he accepted Islam after the death of the Prophet ﷺ, this does not make him a Sahabi, it makes him a Tabi'i. Another interesting twist is that the son of Ibn Sayyad became a great scholar. And his name, Ammaar ibn Safi ibn Sayyad. And this same Ammaar is one of the teachers of Imam Malik, believe it or not. So, and his name is found in the Muwatta and others as a narrator of hadith. And this is the son of Ibn Sayyad. And it is said that Imam Malik respected Ammaar immensely because of his knowledge of hadith. The bottom line, in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, there was a cryptic figure who was a minor Dajjal in that time frame. And because he was still a young child, the Prophet ﷺ did not know, is he going to grow up to become that Dajjal or not? And the Prophet ﷺ passes away, and that confusion lingers on in the Sahaba. Some of them still think he is the Dajjal. But we now know that he could not have been that Dajjal. Now it is clear he wasn't that Dajjal, and so you should be aware of that controversy, that Ibn Sayyad was one of the minor Dajjals. Now, did he embrace Islam or not? Allah knows best, but this last phrase that he said to Abu Sa'id al-Khudri really throws a spanner. Means he still had contact with the world of the jinn, and he still has some issues that are un-Islamic. So he dies in murky circumstances, and we leave his affair to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.